Yes, folks, as the music and the organ finally just drags and just plays it on in. That's right. It's your man, Adolphus A.D. Moore from NRG Stadium as the Houston Texans have just completed their preseason finale against the Los Angeles Rams. Dress rehearsal is over now, folks. Everything now goes back to 0-0. Texans won this contest 17-15. You know, score is not the deal now. It's what these players was able to put on, and able to impress their coaches or impress other folks, or what they put out on film this afternoon today. Again, the Texans defeat the Los Angeles Rams 17-15. Preseason's done. NFL season starts on September the 5th. The Texans will start their season off in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Field against the Indianapolis Colts. But before we get to all of that, we got to get the roster set. And that won't happen until Tuesday. Tuesday we'll roster them because the Texans will be working between now and that day. Cutdown day is the official cutdown date is Tuesday. So we'll be, obviously I'll be back on the airways with the final roster cut, or at least with the preliminary roster cut, because in the NFL season, you have your quote-unquote final roster, but it's never really final, folks, until you can have the last game of the season, last team standing in the case that being. So that's how the roster will fluctuate. Yeah, you're going to have your primary players and your practice note and all the other stuff, but will the 48 that they're going to dress out, and then of the 53 to 48 that will dress out, then the 16 team practice players, or 17 if there's an international player that's not counted against the team. But anyway, let's hear some quick from Coach Ryan in reference to the roster and what's going to be said about this as far as the final roster and everything.
So we guys asked a lot about the roster and all those things. Those questions will be answered as the week goes on. As we sit here right now today, no decisions has been made on anyone, so we'll see how the roster shakes
out. Folks, that's as plain as I can put it, and that's as plain as I can let you see what this came straight from the man. Obviously, they're going to sit down. That's going to be a big powwow with Nick Caserio, the head powers, all the coaches and everybody will be getting together, and they're going to make a determination. Yeah, you can pretty well already tell who's going to make the final cuts and so forth, but there are going to be some surprising cuts. I guarantee you that when the Texans announce their cuts or those who did not make this roster, there are going to be some folks ready to just to pounce on the Texans, because there's some talent there. One young man who I thought that had a outstanding camp, and Xavier Hutchinson, and I'm going to let you hear from him in a few seconds about, and just I thought today, in practice, he's been grinding. Second year player at Iowa State, and I just today, I mean, he had a catch. I think from Boyles. I mean, ball was a little bit behind him, and he snatched the ball out of there. And but he's been, every time he's had the opportunity, he's shown that he can come back and he can play. And I think this is going to be an interesting decision on Xavier Hutchinson. Who, on his second year, drafted this past season, not this 2 years ago. Well, his second year now. So we'll see. But let's hear from Xavier Hutchinson and his comments.
That breakout point,
yes,
now, you ready to let it all hang out and let it go?
Yes, sir, definitely. I mean, you got to be at this point. I really just got to control what I can control, to be honest with you. And yeah, I mean, if it ever comes to that point, I'm going to be ready this time. It won't be any second guessing on my part, or, worried about such and such or whoop-de-whoop. I'm going to just be more confident in myself. So, when that time comes, or, that play comes, I now expect to make that play and do those things for the team.
Appreciate it. Thank you,
of
man.
course.
As I stated, I thought I thought Xavier Hutchinson had an outstanding camp. Every practice in balls thrown this way, he's tried to catch everything in the zip code. And I think it's quite obvious in the way he plays, the way he's practiced. And I think he just stated quite clearly, he's confident. Does he stay here with the talent? This is one of the most talented receiving rooms. And you already know. I can tell you already know who the first four. Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Schultz tight end. But folks, that's going to be some decisions going to have to be made, and it's going to be some surprises out there. So it's going to be interesting who the Texans decide to keep and who the Texans cut. It's like D'Amico Ryan said, we looking for good football players. Well, and to tell you what, this team has a roster that's can not only win, and I think it can go a long way in the playoffs as they surprised everybody this past season. The Houston Texans are no longer a surprise to anybody. You would be sort of like they are now a team to be reckoned with. They have the talent that you're going to have to just scheme for, and you're going to have to play. You're going to have to get ready for them. There's no longer be a surprise coming into the stadium and going like, well, we're not sure what this team is about. This is a different team. This is a new team with new uniforms, by the way. And so I think that, D'Amico Ryans, as he said, he said, those are hard decisions, but those are the hard decisions that they like to make and going to have to make. And that's encouraging when you have hard decisions to make, to measure players, because it's not quantumly difference in players, particularly on this roster. Yeah, you have your starters who started this past season, but you got guys who have grown and have grown exponentially as far as becoming better attuned in what they want. And that's the big thing. You got a lot of players from year one to year two. Can they make that leap? Well, we're going to find out, and I think a lot of them have made that leap. I'm high on. I think this is one of the players, at least for him, I'm concerned. AD Moore is concerned that Xavier Hutchinson he's going to have to make somebody's going to have to make a decision, and I think the decision that he stays, it's a numbers game. You only can keep X number of receivers. So we'll see. We'll see. I think the next big decision room is going to be the running back room. Cam Akers today made a statement today. He's been making a statement in camp all along. Yeah, Damian Pierce is there. We know Joe Mixon is there. Will it be 3 running backs and will it be 4 running backs? Who's going to go to the practice squad? One thing about it, when they go to the practice squad, folks can come in there and pilch them right off of your team. They can take them right off the practice squad. So, that's going to be some decisions to be made. Assistant head coach Danny Robbins and running back coach Danny Robbins, it was funny, interesting. I saw him in the hallway about a week ago. We was walking the hallway, after last week's game, and I was just sort of kidding him. I said, "Man, you got some heck of a decision to make." And he said, "Yeah, but it's a fun decision to make." He said, "Yeah, hard, but yeah, this is just the type of decision as a coach that we like to make and want to make." And so, because the players, they're going to make the final cuts. The effort that they put out there, the effort that they put on tape, and I've mentioned this in several of my tweets, texts, whatever Elon Musk is calling his organization now, tweet, text, X, whatever. That players have had an opportunity now to put a lot of put your resume on tape, and this is what they've done. That's your resume out there, that tape now, and there are no secrets anymore out there because you got it out there. And if you can play, if you can't make it here as far as one of those final 53 and then practice squad players as far as the Houston Texans are concerned, then there's an opportunity for you to make it somewhere else. No secrets anymore, ladies and gentlemen. The Texans are a team to be reckoned with. Now, far as what I anticipate their record's going to be, that's a show. That's an upcoming show because I'm planning on having a smorgasbord of media personnel, not only from here but from across the country. We'll be getting together probably next week. The following week, right before the season kicks off, as to predicting not only at least how my prediction, but they're trying to get a lot of other folks' input as to how do you anticipate what this season's going to be. I'm already probably hanging my hat on 11 wins for the Texans. And I don't anticipate going down. I might go up, but as it stands right now, with the first place schedule that the Houston Texans are going to have to face this year, not the schedule that they had faced last year. With them playing a first place schedule this year. They're going to come every week, and I anticipate. In fact, I know that under D'Amico Ryans, this team will be ready, and this team better be ready. This team's going to have to be ready because nobody is going to be looking past the Houston Texans anymore. This is a team that you're going to have to play them, and you're going to have to play them for a full 60 minutes. And if you got to go to overtime, you're going to have to play them in overtime. So, as get ready to wrap it up here. The sun. I'm seeing the sunshine coming through the panels of the roof that Hurricane Burrow left, where folks can sort of, if you get in a helicopter, you can sort of come over and maybe catch glimpses of the game. That's going to be interesting. That's a little sidebar issue. How long it's going to take before we get the roof panels repaired, and what effect, if any, is going to be on the field. From the perspective looking at the game now, it's going to have a more of effect in the south part of the end zone. Looking at what time it is now, by the time this game would have been over, but the sun would have, but it definitely was going to have effect from the 35-yard line moving in to the south end zone and those folks in the stands. Now, they've done a good job of keeping it cool in here because they cooling the devil out the atmosphere with those two main panels out there. But there's going to be some issues that this is as far as the NRG Stadium folks and what they're going to have to do, and my understanding that the roof repairs are on order. It takes time. It's not like you go to Home Depot, Lowe's, and pick up a panel and just go put across the roof. They're going to have to. They are being manufactured even now as we speak. So, as I get ready to shut this thing down, as I mentioned earlier, preseason dress rehearsal is over, folks. We now time on Tuesday to see what the final cut down day, who's going to make this team, who's not going to make this team, and if they didn't make it, hopefully where these teams going to land, where other players are going to land. Don't forget, if you have not subscribed to the AdMax Corner YouTube channel, please do. Hit the like button if you like it. Please subscribe and subscribe to it. If you have not subscribed to the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, please subscribe. Folks, we are moving. We're growing. There's a lot of interesting and exciting things on tap as far as the corner is concerned, as far as the Houston Roundball Review is concerned. But as I stated earlier, we are ready to move. We are on the move. We are moving on up, as they say. There's a theme from an old TV series. We are moving on up. So, without further ado, this is your man Adolphus A.D. Moore from NRG Stadium. As today, the Texans defeated the Los Angeles Rams 17-15. NFL preseason is over, folks. September 5th starts the real season. It's for real, starting September the 5th. on the Thursday night game and moving forward. So, as I stated earlier, subscribe, like, dislike, whatever. Send us your comments, and thank you for following me during this piece of this previous training camp on the YouTube Shorts, on the Instagram, AdMax Corner Instagram. Don't forget to follow me during the regular season, AD_Moore64 on X, Twitter, Instagram, AdMax Corner, the AdMax Corner YouTube channel. As also as well, follow me over on the you'll catch me on the Folks Talking Sports, the Houston Roundball Review Instagram. You see me some of my stuff following on there. So without further ado, I'm out, getting ready to go home. Enjoy the rest of the day. I'm glad the heat has finally broke a little bit. Yeah, it's still hot, but it's the normal hot that we normally used to have in here in Houston, Texas. The triple digits hopefully are done for the rest of the year. And so without a doubt, folks, I'm out. This is your man. I'm gone, and I will talk at you probably Tuesday. Look to see me too. Look for my comments Tuesday after the cut down date. We'll see how this roster shakes out, and then from there, putting this team together and figure out where we're going. Again, I'm done. I'm out. Ciao.